got my parents with me here in the United Kingdom at the moment. My mom and dad are both currently with me. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So it's graduation season here in the United Kingdom, and so many international students who recently graduated try bringing in their family members, their mom, their dad, to come celebrate with them as they graduate from one of the UK universities. However, many of the visitors' visa applications are being rejected by the Home Office, and this is because of some of the mistakes they made on their visa application. So I actually went through a couple of refusal letters, from those who jumped on my one-to-one session, and I discovered one or two mistakes that they've all been making that is quite consistent that made their parents' visitors' visas being rejected. So if you're probably planning to bring your parents soon to the UK, you surely want to watch this video to the end, or you're clueless on how to go about applying for the visitors visa for your parents or for your family members to come celebrate with you, or to come spend some time with you in the UK, then you definitely do want to stick to this video till the end. And if you're coming across my channel for the first time, do also use the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. For those of you following me on Instagram, many of you are aware that I've got my parents with me here in the United Kingdom at the moment. My mom and dad are both currently with me. My mom has been here for about 3 months now. She came in before my baby was born, and she's been here since then, since August till date. And my dad came in exactly 3 weeks ago, and the whole idea is just for him to meet his first granddaughter for the very first time. So this is coming from someone that recently brought in 2 parents into the UK, and there are a couple of things that I had to do right on their visa application to make sure it gets approved. My dad, this is the second time I've come to the UK. He was there last year for my wedding. Now he's there again this year. And my mom is coming to the UK for the first time. And these are some of the documents we have to provide to get the visitor visa approved. So if you're looking at bringing your parents or your family members into the UK, then you want to keep watching this video till the very end. Now, when applying for a visitor visa, I've seen one of some of the mistakes people have been making that's been consistent, and this is based on the information you're providing on your visa application fee. The Home Office will judge the application based on whatever information you're providing and whatever documents you're providing to back up your visitor visa application. Now, there are mandatory documents that you need to provide. Documents like your valid passport, make sure your passport is valid. Provide your visa application form, which is the form you get when you completely fill the visitor visa application. You also need to put in your application fee, the amount you're paying for the application, also your biometric information. So you might probably need to go, the applicant might need to go to one of the Home Office center to get their biometrics done and all of that. So those are like the mandatory documents that you must provide if you're applying for the visitor visa. But however, the mistake is usually with the supporting documents, which is what I'm going to talk about in this video. Now, the first supporting document you need to provide is the proof of purpose of visit. So you need to actually provide adequate proof to show why this person is coming to the UK on a visitor's visa. So in my own situation, when I applied for my mom in June this year, because she was coming to celebrate with us, I had to tell the Home Office that, the purpose of her visit is basically for her to meet her first granddaughter for the very first time. And we have to provide documents to prove that. So I provided the MAT B1. So for those who don't know, the MAT B1 is like the documents, expecting mothers get from NHS, just to show that, they're actually expecting a baby soon. So they can use that document to get leave from their employers and do other stuff that has to do with pregnancy, basically. So you have to provide the MAT B1 to the Home Office to prove that, yes, we're actually expecting a baby. And you also need to provide, the first document is the proof of purpose of visit. You also need to provide an invitation letter. So in addition to the MAT B1, I had to write a letter to explain why she's coming to the UK, basically. Just give more context to the purpose of our visit. So if you need some help with creating I'll get a draft of what the visitor visa, the invitation letter looks like, you can drop the comment in the section and I can send that directly to your email. So I had what's it called, an invitation letter created to prove why she's coming. Now, the next thing you also need to provide, aside from the proof of purpose of visit, is to provide proof of funds. Now, this is where most people make the mistake in. Now, if you're bringing your parents, for example, bringing them to come spend some time with you and your family, I think it makes sense to tell the Home Office that you will be the one sponsoring the trip. So if you're providing your proof of funds, you'll be providing your own bank statement. So what I did was I provided a 6-month bank statement to show, inflow and money going out of my account, just to show that I've got an active account that has enough funds. And one of the most questions I get asked is, how much do you need to have in your account before you can apply? The truth is, You don't need to have a whole lot of amount of money, because when you're pushing in the application, you must have stated how much you will be spending for the trip. So it means that if you tell the Home Office that you'll be spending 3,000 for your parents or your mom or your dad's trip to the UK, that means that you must have more than 3,000 in your account, if that makes sense. So one of the people that got their refusal, that got rejected by the Home Office, they stated that they will be spending, I think they said they were spending £4,500 for the parents' trip, and they also claim to be the sole sponsor of the trip. And on their bank statement, they had just £2,000 there. So the most was like, if you're planning to sponsor this person, how come you don't have enough funds to fund the trip? So you need to make sure that you have enough fund to prove your, to prove that you have that fund to sponsor the trip. Another thing I had to provide in addition to the bank statement was my pay slip, just to show that I have regular income. So I had to provide about 6 month pay slip also, should I have regular income and I'm able to afford bringing in these individuals into the United Kingdom. Now, this is the part most people get to make another mistake, and this has to do with the evidence of ties to home country. Now, this is really important. Regardless of the fact that you're telling the Home Office that you will be sponsored the trip, you also need to prove that the person coming has a tie back home. And 3 of the guys I reviewed their refusal letter in the last couple of days, the major reason was because the Home Office was not comfortable, or they were not convinced enough that they will be going back to their home country. So you need to provide evidence of ties back to their home country. So what I did was, my parents are, they're pastors, and I had to get documents of the church that has their name on it. I had to get some of their, properties, document of their properties back in Nigeria, which we had to use to prove their evidence of ties back home. So you need to be able to prove that. So if your parents are actually employed, you can get an employment letter, provide the employment letter, get a letter from their from the what's it called, from the employer, saying that, oh, we are the one giving this person this time off for vacation. Just get as much document to prove that they have something doing back home. If your parents are self-employed, if they have like landed properties, get the document with landed property. Then they have this landed property back home, and they will be going back to that particular business. If you have like a business account, just provide as much document as you can. Now, in addition to the proof of funds, you also need to provide your the visitor's bank statement. So in addition to your own bank statement, you also need to provide their own bank statement. So that's one of the ways to also provide to prove their ties back home. So for example, if your parent is self-employed, get their business bank details, just to show bank statements, just to show that they have business going, they have income coming to the business, and the business is still very much active. That's one of the ways to prove their ties back home. Another thing you need to provide is the proof of accommodation. So for myself, I've got a 3-bedroom house. So all I did was to provide a document of my house saying that, oh, I have enough room to accommodate my parents, and yeah, that was what I was provided. So, but when my dad came the first time, I was living in a 1-bedroom, so there was no way to say he was going to live with us in a 1-bedroom. So what I did was I actually booked hotel for the duration of his stay, and the booking for that hotel was what we used as the proof of accommodation. So this is really, really, really important. Now, another thing you also need to provide is additional evidence for specific purposes. So if the person is coming for tourism, the cool thing about the UK is that you don't necessarily need, and this is one of the questions I get asked, you don't necessarily need to book the airline, like the flight ticket. Don't bother doing that, because it's not a requirement. So you don't need to bother about booking the airline. However, while pushing out the application, there are a couple of questions you will be asked, which you need to be very careful before you fill in the information. They're probably going to ask you how much the visitor is earning in terms of like annual income, and how much do they spend on a monthly basis. Please be very careful. One of the individuals I had a conversation with a couple of days ago, whose parent visa was refused, was the fact that now they stated that the dad was earning about, I think he mentioned that the dad was earning about 30 million naira annually, and they checked the bank statements. The money that ever entered into the bank statement was not even up to 30 million. So the Home Office raised the concern that they were not comfortable that this person actually have a tie back home, because we claim they have 30 million in their bank account, but the total amount of money that we can sell the bank statement is not even up to 2 million. So where's the 30 million coming from? So you need to be very careful of the information you're putting on the application form, because they're going to judge the application based on those information. And also, in terms of like the proof of funds, just make sure that on every part of the application, you constantly state that you will be the one funding the trip, so that the proof of fund part is going to be out of the way, and you need to provide enough document to show that they have any ties back in their own country. So yeah, That's really been how we were able to like push the application for both of them, and it was absolutely successful. So if you have any thoughts or any contrary thought of what has been mentioned in this video, please state them in the comment section. And if you want me to like give answers to specific questions that have not been mentioned in this video, please also state that in the comment section. And if you're coming across this channel for the first time, do well to hit on the subscribe button below to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So this will be the end of this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.